Don't you think a big obstacle, especially abroad, is the legacy of how we got involved in the Iraq War? The suspicions that we had it wrong there, obviously, and that we may be wrong again. Don't you think that's a big problem here?
Looming over this debate time and time again has been the specter of Iraq. Most recently, the UK Parliament, many members cited the failure of intelligence leading up to Iraq as the reason that they won't take action now in Syria because they don't trust U.S. intelligence. Do you personally take any responsibility for that or feel any responsibility for that?
You've been on record as saying that you believe President Barack Obama is the weakest president in your adult lifetime. Is he living up to your comment with regard to his actions on Syria as well?
Is it fair criticism coming from you to put it all on the president when, as you well know, in the United Kingdom and in Russia, they talk about not that the intelligence was wrong going into Iraq, but that it had been manipulated and that there was politics and spin that now make them suspicious of the U.S. motives when they say they have proof? I mean, isn't that just the fact?
But you talked about clarity and confusion. You know, this president delayed when it came to getting bin Laden. He delayed when it came to following up on Benghazi. And now he has delayed on Syria. He has gone to Congress, probably to share the blame if anything blows up in his face. But do you think going to Congress was the right thing for him to do, and why?
So just to be clear, you believe it's a fringe notion that the perception of how the U.S. handled intelligence getting into the Iraq war, you think that's a fringe notion, that there's suspicion about it, that there's concern we didn't have it right and we had it wrong for the wrong reasons?
Sure. And in fact, former Senator Barack Obama pretty much opposed former President Bush at every corner regarding his foreign policy, and Joe Biden, the same thing. Now we've got a bunch of Republicans in the Senate and the House who are actually supporting this Democratic president.
Last question for now, Mr. Rumsfeld. When you look back on your experience, specifically with Iraq, and any regrets you may have, is there any mistake that you see that you would like to point out to the administration in the hopes that it's not made again?
So, Mr. Secretary, and you know that Nancy Pelosi, when you were Secretary of Defense, went to Syria, even though your administration, President Bush's administration, asked her not to because you wanted to isolate them because you thought they were bad actors. You know that Senator Kerry has called them a friend, and you know that Hillary Clinton's called them an agent for change. Do you blame Assad for getting mixed signals for the very people now asking for war, for the people that once put their hand of friendship out?